A physicist came up with math that shows paradox-free time travel is plausible, meaning your grandfather is safe. David Neild, Science Alert reports, no one has yet managed to travel through time, at least to our knowledge, but the question of whether or not such a feat would be theoretically possible continues to fascinate scientists. As movies such as Terminator, Donnie Darko, Back to the Future, and many others show, moving around in time creates a lot of problems for the fundamental rules of the universe. If you go back in time and stop your parents from meeting, for instance, how can you possibly exist in order to go back in time in the first place? Things like that. It's a monumental head-scratcher known as the grandfather paradox, but a few years ago, physicist student Germaine Tobar from the University of Queensland, Australia, worked out how to square the numbers to make time travel viable without the paradoxes. Classical dynamics says that if you know the state of a system at a particular time, this can tell us the entire history of the system, Tobar said. However, Einstein's theory of general relativity predicts the existence of time loops or time travel, where an event can be both in the past and the future itself, theoretically turning the study of dynamics on its head. What the calculations show is that space-time can potentially adapt itself to avoid paradoxes. To use a topical example, imagine a time traveler journeying into the past to stop a disease from spreading. If the mission was successful, the time traveler would have no disease to go back in time to defeat. Tobar work suggested that the disease would still escape some other way, through a different route or by a different method, removing the paradox. Whatever the time traveler did, the disease would not be stopped. Tobar's work is not easy for non-mathematicians to dig into, but it looks at the influence of deterministic processes without any randomness on an arbitrary number of regions in space-time continuum, and demonstrates how both closed time-like curves, as predicted by Einstein, can fit in the rules of free will and classical physics. Physicist Fabio Costa of University of Queensland, who supervised the research, said the maths check out and the results are the stuff of science fiction. The research smoothed out the problem with another hypothesis, that time travel is possible, but that time travelers would be restricted in what they did to stop them creating a paradox. In this model, time travelers have the freedom to do whatever they want, but paradoxes are not possible. While the numbers might work out, actually bending space-time to get into the past remains elusive. The time machines and scientists have devised so far so high concept that for them to currently only exist as calculations on a page. We might get there one day. Stephen Hawking certainly thought it was possible, and if we do, that it's this new research suggests we would be free to do whatever we wanted to the world in the past. It would readjust itself accordingly. Costa said, as you might want to create a paradox, the events will always adjust themselves to avoid any inconsistency. The range of mathematical processes we discovered show that time travel with free will is logically possible in our universe without any paradox. The research was published in Classical and Quantum Gravity, and this is by David Neild, Science Alert on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.